synagogues, and there's a back door that some of us know how to get into Facebook, and that worked, and I tested it late last night and came in this morning, and even that doesn't work. So we will, Jonah, can you do me a favor, just hit record on, you hit record, so we are recording the service. We will be able to share it with you, and if you want, post it so that everybody can celebrate even a little bit late. We thank you guys for respecting all of these crazy rules and practices we have to keep us all safe in here. We will have the prayer book up on the screen, as you can see. I think we have about 40, 45 people in our Zoom room, and they are watching live. And you guys, if there's anything on Zoom, you can join the chat and jump in and comment, and I can see that. I'm happy to relay some of those comments to the group as we go along this morning. We are going to begin by bringing up our wonderful bar mitzvah. You should be, this is Daniel's table right here. So you'll be able to see him and hear him nicely right here. But you're going to come on up, I think with mom and dad right now. As long as they quarantine together, they can come up together. They're going to present him with his wonderful special tallis. The tallis is the prayer shawl that we wrap ourselves in as we get ready for this special morning. Nice and loud. Amen. If you weren't in the room, I was trying to figure out where Daniel was this morning because I just saw men in the room. And now look at him. There he is. There is our bar mitzvah boy. Again, move over a little bit. Just center yourself right with the microphone. Perfect. See everybody? See that bar mitzvah boy? You should be able to see. We have 3 cameras going if you're on Zoom. I just got a comment that your hair looks really good.
It does.
Tracy.
I was noticing that too. It's really
So
good.
there's 3 cameras. The important one is Daniel. And then you can see the cantor and myself, but that's only so that you can see us if you want. Daniel is the important one this morning. We're going to begin, but we're going to turn together now to page 50, the Birchot HaShachar. Page 50 is the online prayer book, which if you didn't have a chance to grab it and you're on Zoom and you want to look, it's on ramatshalom.org underneath the webcam section. You can download it or just look at it online. And here in the sanctuary, we're broadcasting it up on the screen. These are the blessings of the morning.
Amen. Okay, of Ephraim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Malbi Sharuni. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Matir Asuri. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Zelkef Kefufi. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Amkim Mitzadei Gaber. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Shesali Kol Tzorki. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Ozer Yisrael B'Gvura. Amen.
54.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Oter Yisrael B'Tifara. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Shesani Betzalmo. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Shesani Ben Horim. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Shesani Yisrael. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolamim, Amen.
As we talk about the blessings or the blessings of the morning, We are in the holiday of Sukkot. You walked through our COVID-friendly, I don't like using those two words together, but COVID-friendly sukkah this morning, which we had to put up. We normally have it in the sanctuary, but it would distract with the cameras and the lighting, but I had to have a sukkah for Daniel because we'll talk about why in a little bit. But what we do on Sukkot when we're standing in the sukkah, which we're not right now, we have the lulav. The lulav consists of the palm branch, myrtle branches, and willow branches, and the etrog, which is this amazing citrusy fruit. And we take them together and we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Kiddeshanu B'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Al Nitilat Lulav. And we shake it in all the different directions, as you saw me do, the front and the back and the right and the left and up and down, really to celebrate that all around us are incredible things. It's a bizarre act. I know if you've never seen it, but it's taking nature in our hands and just shaking it around to remind us that there's beautiful stuff everywhere. In this day and age, it's so hard to appreciate that because there's so much stress in our lives. And so I thought it was important to take the love and bless it this morning as we bless this incredible guy who is a reminder that in this crazy world, there's still a lot of goodness. We're going to turn together to page 56 in the Siddur to what we call Psukei D'Zimra. Again, blessings that just get us connected. If you're here in the sanctuary or you're at home, and I like to say, even though we really can't, so don't worry, Mazal Tov from Sarah. Sarah says Mazal Tov Daniel. I want to invite you to sing along with us. So if you're on 56 with us, underneath, and Jonah will try to highlight that. Jonah's my son. He's our tech guy this morning. And I said, you can sleep in this morning. He said, no, the Auerbachs are good people. I'm getting up. So I'm not making that up. The transliteration below, you can sing along with us if you want. And at home, we can hear you spiritually if you join us. All right, Devin, go for it.
Baruch she'amar,
Baruch she'amar,
v'haya ha'olam,
v'haya ha'olam,
v'haya ha'olam,
v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu,
Baruch Oseh,
Baruch Oseh,
Oseh Bereshit,
Oseh Bereshit,
Oseh Bereshit,
Oseh Bereshit,
Baruch Shalom,
Baruch Shemo,
Baruch Omer,
Baruch Omer,
Omer ve'Yosef,
Omer ve'Yosef,
Omer ve'Yosef,
Omer ve'Yosef,
Baruch,
Baruch,
Baruch Gozer,
Baruch Gozer,
Gozer Unkayim,
Gozer L'Kayim,
Gozer Unkayim,
Gozer L'Kayim,
Baruch Shalom.
Baruch Shemo.
Our service this morning is a little shorter than it normally is. Daniel could lead the entire thing if he needed to. He is a rabbi and a cantor in and of himself, but we keep our service shorter per the guidelines of our medical committee who allowed us to return just for everybody's well-being, but we're going to pack in a lot in our time together. If you are able to, either here in the sanctuary, and if you want at home, we invite you to rise with us. If rising is not something you're able to do, it's always say you can spiritually rise with us. 58, the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yeah.
Daniel, do you need me to call the regular page numbers for you? You okay?
I have it right here. Yikada v'yikadash shemei rabba,
Amen.
ve'alamadi v'rahi rite, ve'amif mahute,
V'chayechu v'yomechu, u'chayetechu beit Yisrael. U'mizman karev.
v'yimeru,
Amen.
V'yikara, v'yishtava, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitrama, v'yitnaseh, v'yifatar, v'yitale, v'yitala, Shmei Kudusha,
Berichu.
Ve'ela, Minko Birchata, Ve'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechem da'amiran be'alma. Amen.
Remain standing if you can. Page 247 for you, Daniel, 59 for the rest of us. The Baruch, the opening blessing. Daniel will turn where he is and face the ark with us for the opening blessing of our morning service. So remain standing if you can for just a moment.
Baruchu et Adonai hamvorach.
Adonai hamborach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed.
Continue a little blessing about light, still on page 59 over Daniel 2:47.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or Uvarei, Oseh Shalom, Uvarei et Hakol.
We're going to turn together in the online Siddur. Again, if you're just joining us and you want to grab that, it's on our website, ramatshalom.org, underneath the webcam section. We are going to be saying now the oldest, but still the most important of our Jewish prayers, echoing what I said earlier. We live in a world where there's so much noise and so much negativity and so much distraction. We often forget that there is underneath it all still unity and good things. And the Shema tells us to stop, and listen, and pay attention for Echad, for the one that is out there waiting for our attention. Whenever you're ready.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed, Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meudecha, Ve'hayu hadarim ha'eleh, Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Olevavecha Veshinatam Levanecha Vidivartam Veshiftecha Vebetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Ukshokbecha Ukumecha Ukshartam Leot Ayadecha Vehayulatotafot Beninecha Uchtavtam Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
And from the Shema, which talks about the importance of parents teaching their kids, we are grateful that we have parents here in the room today who have raised two incredible guys. And I thank you for sharing them with us. The world is a better place. Our congregation is a better place because they are here. And we credit the two of you for giving us these gifts. So thank you for that. We go on to our ancient song of celebration on page 291, singing of Mi Chamocha, song of freedom, a song of great joy. And we weren't certain this moment, even though it's a small group, we weren't certain we'd even be able to do this. And we add a little bit of our own joy into these words as we sing together. Daniel 295. We're going to rise together. We'll face the ark as we begin our Shabbat morning Amidah. Some blessings we say together, and we'll have a little bit of time on our own. We start together with the words, Adonai Sifatai, open my mouth, God, and let it declare your praise. Daniel, you can turn with us. And Adonai Satai Tifta Ufiaki Tehilatefa Adonai Satai Tifta Ufiaki Teilatecha Adonai Satai Tita Ufiaki Teilatecha Adonai Satai Tita Ufiagi Teilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Sarah Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Rivka Elohei Yaakov Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Me'hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imot U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem Le'man Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Rav-Oshia Morid Katal Mechakel Chaim Bechesed Mechayeh Kol Chai Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Berofei Olim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michalocha Baal Yehurot Umidom Elah Melech Meimid Umechayem Umatzliach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lahachayot kol chai Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh kol chai. Turn together now to page 67 and 68. The words Lador, Vador, I'm sorry, page 68. 68 in our Machzor, I mean Rosh Hashanah mode, in our Sidor, page 305 if you're using the book like Daniel is. And we are celebrating a lot of things today. One of those is captured by the words that we sing here towards the bottom of the transliteration, or in the Hebrew there, Lador Vador. From one generation to the next, we celebrate. And I always say that right underneath the Ner Tamid there, that's where the souls of those who aren't physically here with us, but they're spiritually here with us. And if you really pay attention, you can feel them. They're celebrating as the next generation takes their place in our tradition. The door by door we sing together.
We are gifts and we are blessings. We are history in song. We are hope and we are healing. We are learning to be strong. We are words and we are stories. We are pictures of the past. We are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. The door by door, knocking on level. The door by door, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, the door by door, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our heart, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy. We are children of your way. And the words that bring us meaning, we will have the strength to say. The door by door, knocking on the door by door, we protect this chain. From generation to generation, the door by door, these lips will praise your name.
As we give thanks for the generations, the reason that we are here today, we also offer a prayer for peace for all of us, peace in our hearts, peace in our community, peace in our country, peace in the world. Page 77 on line 323 in the Siddur, the words Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom Bimroma, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Yisrael. 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 Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Yisrael.
Centuries ago, there was a guy by the name of Moses, climbed up a mountain in the Middle East, mountain that we know of as Mount Sinai. And legend has it got our story. And then came down the mountain and began teaching that story. We just talked about Lador Vador for generations. students of Moses, parents, children started learning the story and then pass it on to the next generation. We reenact that moment in a pandemic right now. Normally we'd give Daniel the Torah and he'd walk around with everybody here. I'm gonna hold it for him today. I'm just a prop today for this incredible guy. But we take the Torah out at the top of our Mount Sinai here, our little platform here in Plantation, and we get ready to read some stories that have been around with us for centuries. They're confusing stories. They don't necessarily make sense to us today. Our job is to wrestle with them and try to figure them out. And this guy did exactly that. We'll talk about him in just a little bit, but let's take the Torah out as we turn together to page 79. I realize I didn't tell you guys to sit down. This is the problem, but we're actually going to stay standing now. This is the problem with doing services online for so many months. I forget to tell people to sit, so my apologies. Amy Freund is out there. She can, if you see me doing that more often, just wave violently and I will. But we will stay standing as we turn to 79 or page 383 in the Siddur as we begin our Torah service.
In Kemocha ve'Elohim Adonai ve'in kema'asecha ma'alechutecha ma'alchut kol olamim u'hemshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai
Melech, Adonai Malach, Adonai Yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai Rosh le'amo yitei, Adonai Yivarech et amo v'shalom, Arachamim, Yivarech Tzorcha et Zion, Tibnei Chomot Yerushalayim, Tibnei Chomot Yerushalayim, Ki Melech el Ve'isa Adon Olam.
We're going to open up our art now as Daniel continues the Torah service for us. Page 80, or for you, 385.
Vayihi v'tzoach ha'aron vayomer Moshe
Kuma Adonai ve'afusu orevecha ve'anusu misanecha mipanecha Ki mitzion tetzei Torah Ki mitzion tetzei Torah U'devar Adonai miYerushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato.
Page 82 or 393, Daniel. Daniel leads us in the Shema again as we hold our Torah.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonai Kadosh Shema
Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonai
So normally here we walk around and process, but I'm going to bring the Torah now to Daniel's table, and we're going to put it down and unwrap it a little bit. So I'm just going to sneak behind you, Mr. Daniel, here. To those of you watching on our center camera, it's going to be a little bit of an earthquake because I'm going to move you around. So my apologies if things shake for a moment. We're fine here in South Florida. So you guys can be seated. So we are in a very interesting situation in the Jewish world. So a lot of our incredible kids, one of the most incredible being Daniel Auerbach, had B'nai Mitzvah set weeks and months ago. And so they learned, they've been preparing for this moment for days, weeks, years. And they had Torah portions that were supposed to have been read weeks ago. So the question becomes, for those of you who don't know, the Torah is divided up into parts read consecutively for the most part throughout the year. And so Daniel got a section, I think it's known as Naso.
Yes, correct.
In the book of Numbers, yes?
Yep.
Book of Numbers, so I'm gonna make certain I'm telling you the correct information. That has to do with, and he's gonna talk about it, but there's some really interesting traditions and laws that he struggled with, and we're gonna read parts of it this morning, and Jonah will pull those up now. There's some ancient sacrifices that are talked about. And again, this is one of the stories that our job is to wrestle with it and try to figure out how does it relate to us today. Now, when we moved his B'nai Mitzvah, his Bar Mitzvah, we could have had him relearn a whole new Torah portion because today is Sukkot, and so it was a special reading for today. But he worked so hard on the previous section, and so most rabbis and cantors across the country were having our kids keep the section that they actually read. So in the sanctuary here, we're going to have our Torah portions brought up. But if you're following at home and you want to see the Torah that's being read, you can look at Numbers chapter 5. We're going to be reading there. And we are going to invite some folks on up to read for us. His cantor is our reader and Daniel is our reader. Jacob and mom and dad and Daniel are all taking aliyot. And since you guys all live in the same place, it is fine if you guys want to come up to this microphone. If you're more comfortable with that microphone, that's fine as well. So I'm gonna, Cantor and I have this little dance that we do here. Is everything set? Do you need to do anything here?
No.
Oh, you're the reader. That's
I'm the
right.
reader, yes. So they actually are going to do their aliyot over there.
They are gonna do their aliyot there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then.
Oh, that's right, because you're there.
I'm the reader.
See, this is the COVID dance. Trying to
So
figure
I
out.
believe, is Jacob the first one, I believe?
No, mom and dad. Jacob, yes,
Yeah.
Jacob.
So Jacob's going to go to that microphone to do the aliyah, and I'm going to read from.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's all confusing. It's so many new things to deal with. Let me just make
So
sure.
again, we are, if you're in the sanctuary, you can see the reading. If you're at home and you want to look at Numbers chapter 5, verses 5 to 7, Jacob's going to be blessing for us, followed by Cantor reading.
Baruch
Adonai HaBarach
Le'olam Va'ed.
Amen.
Amen. Vayedaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el bnei Yisrael. Isho isha. Ki ya'asu mikol chatot adam. Lim'ol mal Adonai. Ve'ashama hanefesh ahi. Vehifadu et chatatam asher asu veheshiv et ashmo berosho v'chamishito Yosef alav v'natan la'asher asham lo.
Amen. So, Mom and Dad are going to join us up here now for the next Aliyah. And Cantor Debbie is going to continue reading Numbers 5, verses 8 to 10. And I'm going to switch the camera so you can see our Aliyot, the people taking the Aliyah.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Amen.
No,
Hold
wait.
on 1 second.
My turn. You'll finish after, okay? Amen. Ve'im ein la'ish goel le'shiv ha'asham elav ve'asham amushav l'Adonai la'kohen milvad ha'yil ha'kippurim asher yichaper vo alav v'chol terumah L'chol kodshei b'nei Israel, asher yakrivu lakohen lo yiyeh, ve'ish et kadashav lo yiyu, ish asher yitein lakohen lo yiyeh. Amen.
Thank you, guys. So now it's time
Roll forward just a little bit.
to bring up, as we're Candace going to move forward, but this is the moment where Daniel is going to become a bar mitzvah. He has a choice he has to make now. I think I know the answer. Not with every kid do I know the answer. But with this one, I think I know. He has the choice of either allowing me to call him up to the Torah or saying we're done. I used to be able to say, say we're done, we can all go out to eat and stuff like that. I don't know what we're going to do today, but it's up to you. Do I have your permission to call you up? Oh, phew, I was right. So come on up, back to your camera. Some people were wondering online, I could see, where did
Just want
Daniel
to make
go?
sure he finds it.
He's coming up now. Does he have a yard?
He has his own yard.
Oh, perfect.
And here's
Who gave you that yard?
here, right there.
So that's why I was.
Right
So
there.
Amy Freund, his tutor, is here.
We'll start right there, okay?
So Daniel, I'm going to officially call you up by your Hebrew name. This is the moment, everybody, where he becomes bar mitzvah. When he takes aliyah, when he reads Torah, and says the blessing. So the spiritual sparks are going to fly. And so pay attention for that. Mom and Dad, you want to come on up?
Let Mom and Dad stand.
You want to come up too?
Sure.
Ya'amod, 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 Habachor, Habar Mitzvah, Daniel Kerem, Ben Yaakov, Rivka Sarah, Maftir Chazak. Numbers 7, verses 87 to 89 are soon to be bar mitzvah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kirvanu la'avodato v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Kol habakar la'olam shanein asar tariv. Elim shaneim asar kevasim b'nei shana. Shaneim asar in hatan ושעירי שנים עשר לחטאת, בקר צבע השלמים, 24 פרים, אלים 60, עתידים 60, כבשים בני שנה 60, זאת חנוכת המזבח, אחרי ימשך אותו, ובבוא משה אלוהי מועד, מדבר איתו, וישמע את הקול מדבר אליו, מעל הכפורת אשר על ארון העדות, מבין שני הקרובים, וידבר אליו. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Excellent job. Excellent job. We are going to say a special Mishabera, prayer of healing, prayer of strength for all those in our country, in our community, in our homes, maybe even ourselves, anybody who is struggling with illness, whether it be physical, mental, spiritual struggle. We give you the opportunity, if you'd like to say any names out loud, you can type those names in our Zoom room or say them quietly here. And if you just say it to yourself, that works just as well as we say this special prayer of healing.
Mekor habracha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Bisheberach imoteinu, mekor habracha leimoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So I mentioned that there's some rather challenging sections in this Torah that Daniel read. And he tackled one of the most confusing and bizarre ones head on and uses it as a very powerful lesson for us today. So I turn it over to our wise bar mitzvah who's going to teach us this morning. It's all yours.
Thank you everyone for coming out today and witnessing one of my steps into adulthood. I would also like to thank Rabbi, Cantor, my family, Miss Amy, Miss Beth, my friends, and all the teachers from Vermont that have helped me in the past, all playing a huge part in helping me become a bar mitzvah. Now, before my bar mitzvah, I was given a Torah portion. In there is an odd story that describes a ritual used to find the truth if someone has broken their faith to their significant other. The husband or wife will be given a potion of which they drink, made of various odd ingredients. If the husband or wife has been unfaithful, the drink will cause their thighs to sag and stomach to droop. This ties into the whole theme of my speech, staying honest. Honesty, something that as people we try to follow. I have found myself in some situations where honesty was key, whether being honest with myself, telling someone something that happened, or returning a lost thing. Sometimes I've been in a position where all of these situations have applied. being honest with myself. Being honest with yourselves means understanding what you're feeling, recognizing it, and feeling comfortable enough to share it with your situation with your close friends and family. Not too long ago, I found myself frustrated and overwhelmed with sadness and hatred, both at the same time. This had been happening for a few days at the time. I had reached my breaking point. I walked into my last block of the day and began to express my sadness. My friend at that point noticed me starting to cry. I asked the teacher if I could step outside with my friend. We stepped outside and I began to explain what had been happening. I told her how I felt like I wasn't being myself lately and how I felt like I were becoming a mean person. She in a second snapped me out of that state and told me to never think that. We went on talking about how I felt for a few moments. And by then I felt okay. I was honest with how I felt. I realized that I wasn't feeling right and I reached out to someone. That's honesty. Telling someone what happened. Telling someone what happened means to step away from being a bystander and report the situation. In 6th grade at my bus stop, there was a group of students that would tease a challenged kid each day and bully him. They would tell him horrible things that genuinely hurt to hear. The worst thing was that the students didn't even react. They just let them do whatever they wanted to do. It just kept getting worse and worse till I couldn't handle watching this anymore. I was tired of the continuous bullying, so I spoke to my mom about it. Within a week, she told the school what had been going on. Over time, I saw the bullying die down, but it wasn't fully gone. The bullying eventually died out as far as I know. But since then, I've changed bus stops, so I don't know if it's still happening. But no matter what, I can say I did something. I told someone the truth, and I am proud of myself for that. Returning a lost item. Returning something means that you're giving something back that could mean a lot to someone, or it could just be very expensive. At my school, each month they have a system where they choose a few students for each grade, which they think have been honest by doing a mitzvah or returning a lost item. The system is called Panther of the Month. I've gotten Panther of the Month twice. I have returned lost IDs, AirPods, etc. I will continue to strive for Panther of the Month by being honest and truthful always. In this corrupt world we live in, maybe if everyone was more honest, our world would be more united and less broken.
I will forever, reading that story, I remember in rabbinical school, we all struggled with it. And I think you have insight beyond your years just to be able to find meaning in that, but it doesn't surprise me because this is one smart young man. And I thank you for sharing your wisdom and applying into the lessons that you live on a daily basis and make the world better because of it. We're going to read a little bit of Haftorah. And this comes from the book of Judges. Jonah, you can pull up the Haftorah in the Torah section there. This is the story of Samson. In the Torah portion that Daniel read, there's another description of the Nazarites, a sect of ancient, the ancient Israelite community of people who were very much concerned about purity. They didn't drink alcohol. They grew their hair in a distinct way, and Samson was one of them. And so we read a little bit about Samson. First, Daniel will bless the Haftorah, say the Haftorah blessings, and then read a little bit of the story. You can see that here in the sanctuary up on the screens.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah b'direhem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai haboher b'torah u'Moshe abdo u'b'nvi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. Vayihi ish echad mitzorah mimishpach haranit u'shmo Manoah v'ishto akara v'lo yalada. Vayera malach Adonai el ha'isha vayomer elecha hinena at akara v'lo yaladet Behari, Belari Ben, Beata, Ishamina, Beatishtian, Beshefar, Beatochi, Kotame, Ki nachara belarek ben umara lo ya'ale arsho ki nezir Elohim Yeh hanar min habaten vehu Yahel lo shia et Yisrael me'ad Filistin ותבוא האישה ותאמר לאישה לאמור איש האלוהים בא אליי ומראה הוא כמראה מלאך האלוהים נורא מאוד ולא שאלתיהו מזהו ואת שמו לא הגיד לי Baruch, Baruch, Adonai Elohim melech haolam, Tzor kol ha'olamim, Tzadik kol hadarot, Ha'el ha'ne'eman, Ha'omer v'yoseh, Ha'medaber u'mikayem, She'kol devarav emet v'tzedek, Ne'eman, Atachu Adonai Elohim, V'ne'emanim devarecha, V'devarecha nivarecha, Achor lo yashuv rekam, Ki el melech ne'eman, Yerachama nata, Baruch ata Adonai, Ha'el ha'ne'eman b'chol devarav. Rafim, Al Tzion ki hi beit hayenu, Ulam ha-Yisrael toshia, Imfeira v'imenu, Baruch ata Adonai, Mesumea Sion b'reinecha. Semcheinu Adonai Elohim, Be'eliyahu hanavi avdecha, Imfeira yavo v'yagel libenu, V'hashiv v'vavot al-banim, V'lev banim al-levotam, Uveitha b'tefila yikareh, L'chol ha'amim, Baruch ata Adonai, Mevi shalom la'ad. Al ha'torah, ve'al ha'odah, ve'al ha'navi'im, ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, Shenatata banu Adonai Eloheinu, L'kedusha v'lemenucha, L'kavod u'tifaret, Al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu, Anachnu modim lav, U'mbarakim otah, Yitbarach shimcha, B'fikol hatamid la'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, Mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov, Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov, Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov. Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov, Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov, Simman Tov, Mazal Tov, Mazal Tov, Simman Tov.
Mazel tov. I realize that this bar mitzvah is a handing of the torch in a fun, beautiful, also bittersweet kind of way. And it's Sukkot, so we have to focus on the joy. And Amy is here, right? And so this is your first bar mitzvah here in the sanctuary since you welcomed a special new friend into your household. Ali, I'm doing it right. Okay, good. So we had a loss in our bar mitzvah tutor dog, a very special friend to our community. And Daniel, you are the first person up there helping to give voice to Ali now, creating a new branch of our B'nai Mitzvah tree. And I think that's special. And I think this is the first time I've seen Amy in our sanctuary since March or maybe even February, which speaks volumes about you, Daniel, and just how special and remarkable you are. So normally right now I would be handing you a little Torah that you'll take with you on your journeys through life, and in it, it's actually in a bag that Miss Beth has put together. And I have a little note that I think it might be in there. Not, we'll get it to you. But I have a separate note that you can put in there when the time is right. And I wrote something for you for this morning. And first I was going to talk about the crazy Torah portion. But that's not what spoke to me. What spoke to me, Daniel was featured in a video that we shared with our community on Yom Kippur. It's gotten like over 1,000 views just in our own community, just talking about people's experiences over COVID. And his words in that video elicited some of a lot of thought from people, and I heard from so many people, who is that young man? He's so well spoken, and what he said was so beautiful. And what he said was, in context to this day, you know, the building is amazing, the synagogue building is amazing, but it's the people that fill it that matter. Now, Daniel, don't ever let your mother know that I'm telling you this, right? But houses and buildings and synagogues and all of that is just stuff. Okay, promise, don't tell her. Because she'll get mad at me. But it's important stuff. Listen, I'm a homeowner too, but that's the business. But you're right, Daniel, and what you said is that we put so much importance on the material stuff in our life. And some of that stuff is important. We want secure houses sold to us by great real estate agents. Right? That's important. But what you said about the people, it relates directly to the lesson of Sukkot. A traditional sukkah that would be put up, and we normally have one here at the synagogue. If there's a strong wind, it blows down. And then some people say, well, if there's a strong wind and it blows the sukkah away, then everything's gone. No, because God willing, the people inside the sukkah, while they might be a little wet and windy, they're still there. And you understand that lesson, and you have so many incredible people who fill your own personal sukkah, your spiritual sukkah. Maybe not the actual sukkah itself, right? A physical, literal sukkah. You've got your home, you've got your backyard, you've got your school, you've got your group of friends. So many of them are watching online and tossing out comments. You've got your family. You've got your relatives who are, again, I mentioned spiritually here with us today, who you can't reach out and touch physically, but who are there and will forever remain part of the people who care and love about you. So as you move forward from this moment, Daniel, my hope, my wish, my desire, and I know it'll come true, is that you just keep this focus that you already have as a young man on what is important. And I think I speak for everybody here and everybody on Zoom, that there are lots of us who consider ourselves very blessed to be part of your people. And we are so excited to watch where you go with this. You are the definition of the word mensch. You are kind. You are incredibly spiritually insightful. And one of my highlights through this COVID nightmare, although it wasn't lots of opportunities, but to click on Zoom and to see your smiling face there on your bunk bed, and to look at the top of the bunk bed and to talk to you and to learn from you. And it was a reminder that all is still good in the world. So just keep that essence in you, and you are going to do incredible things. You already have. And I'm honored to stand up here. The book I normally take and I turn it and I say, Hafokba, Dehuleba, turn it because everything is in it. I'm so proud to stand up with you, even though we're divided by my penalty box, to celebrate with you today.
So, Daniel, I couldn't be prouder of you. Your tallest is about to fall off, though. So fix that. There you go. I'm thinking of those symbols of Sukkot, Rabbi, that you were holding up. So I'm thinking of how it relates to you. It just kind of came to me. I start with the etrog though, because the etrog, the rabbis associate those symbols with parts of our body. And the beautiful etrog is supposed to be symbolic of your heart. And when I think of you, Daniel, I think of you as a person who is so much heart. You have such deep feeling and compassion and empathy for others. I've witnessed that since I've met you when you were in Torah school as a little guy. You're full of heart, and you bring so much love and spread so much love all around you. I love watching you with your friends here, and the way that you, I don't know, you're just this guy that you get along with everybody. You're kind to everybody. You're like a heartbeat of our group here at Ramat Shalom, which is beautiful. The palm branch, the palm is symbolic of a backbone. I see you as someone, like you said in your speech, you stood up for the bully. You had a backbone. You weren't afraid to do something about a situation that you saw that was unjust, and you used your backbone and you stood strong and you went and you spoke up and you fixed a problem, you helped someone. And then I see the willow branches, they're symbolic of your lips, your mouth. They look like your mouth. And I again, in the same way, you use your words to bring goodness. Whenever you speak, it's what comes out of your mouth is always so filled with goodness. It's so special, especially in your age group. Kids tend to be mean and snarky with each other, but I never see that in you. Your words are always used with such love and kindness. And then finally, we have the myrtle leaves, which the rabbis say look like your eyes. Now you have incredible vision in the sense that the way you see things and then the way you put what you see into your artwork. You're this artist, visionary guy. And your talent in your art is so incredible, and I'm so admiring of the artwork that I've seen you do. And I really do believe that you're going to go on to become some kind of an amazing artist, that people are going to be coming to your galleries and your shows. You're super talented. So you embody all of those symbols. You are like a living lulav and etrog. And I am feeling so proud and blessed and honored, like Rabbi said, to be a part of your people. And you come from such a beautiful family, and I'm so honored to be a part of your lives. And just keep being the amazing young man that you are, and spreading all of those wonderful things wherever you go. And I'm looking forward to where you're headed. And I'm always going to be a big fan. Mazal Tov.
Want to bring up Mom and Dad and your brother now. We're going to share some words with us as well.
Daniel, first we want to recognize everyone at home watching. We look forward to a time when we can all celebrate together. We are lucky to have your grandparents, aunts, uncle, and cousins here today. And no, Nan, and no, Nan is smiling down watching as well. We knew from the moment you arrived, you were unlike anyone else in the family. You were always smiling and laughing and taking the world in and finding joy and light in it. You continue to find all the best in everyone. You are truly compassionate, kind, thoughtful, sincere, creative. You and your brother bring us great joy, laughter, and from time to time, a bit of chaos into our home. While today is 4 months overdue and not exactly what we had planned, do not let this impact this incredible accomplishment. Becoming a bar mitzvah in this environment has had its challenges, but you overcame them with grace and confidence. We are filled with immense pride at all that you have done and cannot wait to see what the future holds for you. We give you the same advice we gave Jacob on his special day. Each day is a gift. Special people in your life are gifts. Your family is a gift. Take in and appreciate all of them. Learn to love, give respect, learn continuously. Continue to be compassionate, understanding, observant, patient, spiritual, thoughtful, bold, and adventurous. And if you told your brother not too adventurous. Travel, try new things. Value health, good advice. Take note of opportunities, believe in karma, and behave accordingly. We are so proud of you.
First, I'd like to thank everyone here for coming for my brother's very special day. I kept it short and sweet and simple. But I'd like to say to Daniel, today is your big day. You will remember this for the rest of your life. You became a man today, as I did a few years ago. Now, even if times are different, it's still a very important day for you. Now, let's see, where do I begin? There's so much positivity surrounding your life that it's hard to put into words. I'd like to start off by saying how much of an amazing brother you are to me. You're always there for me, regardless of the situation. I know I can always talk to you, and you will always listen. Even if we don't always get along, know that I love you. Secondly, I'd like to talk about how much of an amazing person you are. Everywhere you go, you fill up the room with happiness. No matter the situation, you always find a solution. You are such a bright and smart kid. I wish I could be like you. Well, Daniel, this concludes my speech. Thank you for being such an amazing person and brother to me. Cherish this day. You will never forget it. I love you, kid.
Stand up. We have a special blessing for the four of you. This is the ancient priestly blessing. You can find it on page 75 online if you want to follow along. This is just a blessing for these four incredible people. Thanking them for the love they bring into the world and making certain that we do what we can to just offer prayers to encourage that love surround them right now. Adonai v'yishmerecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'yivunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'aseh lecha shalom. Ve'aseh lecha shalom. I just want to stress, I know I speak for Miss Beth, who's in the back, that we have been blessed to watch this young man grow up right before our eyes. Both of these young men grow up right before our eyes. And I just reiterate what I said earlier. Mom and Dad, whatever you're doing, you might want to bottle it up and sell it, because we need more of these guys. So thank you for blessing us with them. And thank you for all you do for us. We are going to continue on page 443 in the Siddur, page 96 online with Aleinu. We'll keep Daniel up here for a few more minutes. This is the prayer that reminds us we must act and make a difference in this world. You can face the ark.
And we ask you to please rise.
Vatengila leotzer Breshit, Shenatan lanu Torah temet, V'chaye olam nata b'tochenu, V'na'achnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Be seated. As we come to the end of our time together this morning, we've spoken a lot about the special people who aren't physically here with us, but spiritually remain who we are. And we will honor them officially now with the mourners' Kaddish. And I invite you to turn to page 99 online or 451 in the Siddur. If you'd like to remember somebody special, one of the ways to do that is to rise with us. I invite you to do so or to say any names out loud if you choose to do so. As we give thanks for their lives and the blessings they have given us. One of those blessings is right before us right now, becoming Bar Mitzvah and reminding us how special he is.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash, Shemei Rabbah,
Amen.
U'tibarach
Pirutei, Yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon, Yomechon, Chayei Techol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Bizman Kariv, Yimru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam V'amei Amayim. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yithavar v'yitrolam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Kedusha B'richu. Ve'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yiru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya d'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yiru amen. Oseh shalom b'mrama u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen. The memory of all those righteous souls that we think of here, everybody thinking online, and they only serve as blessing. We can be seated. I want to say, of all of my years doing bat mitzvah, you just touched me very deeply in something very simple. I talk a lot, right? And I was yammering. And the next thing I know, you started the mourner's cottage. I've never had a bar mitzvah do that, and that's beautiful that you had the confidence to honor the people in your family like that. It's one of those moments I will never forget, Daniel, but it just captures again who you are. You went for it, and you said really one of the most important prayers just on your own so beautifully. So thank you for that little lift for me. Beautiful. I want to thank you guys for being here with us. When you walk in and out of the building, you'll see our kind of COVID-friendly sukkah. We'll make a quick kiddush and motzi here. Traditionally, we do that. Again, if we were in our normal time period, we would be able to do that in the sukkah. We don't have a challah to be able to share. In fact, we have a little dinky challah. I wish we could do that. It's not in our nature not to, but we've got to, do it this way. But if you can, I invite you to rise with us for the kiddush and the motzi. I want you to go and enjoy your time together today. Daniel, I want you to just realize how much you have accomplished. I hope you're proud of yourself. And I hope you realize the difference you make in this world. So, kiddush and motzi, Kenner, I should have given you this.
It's okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen chayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach, Happy Sukkot, and Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov.
I want to thank everybody who joined us online. I will have a recording of this probably later today, if not by tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Before we shut the room down, if you post any comments, all of those comments will be given to Daniel. So feel free to toss those comments out, and we'll share them with him. We'll print a transcript of those comments. Again, thank you everybody for being here with us. Yes, Daniel, we need to do a quick selfie with you. So Jonah, in just about like a minute, you can shut the Zoom room down. I'm gonna leave this part here.
So Daniel, turn
Yeah,
around.
you know what I'm thinking? Maybe he can come here if we can come.
Oh, yeah, Daniel, you want to come up, stand in front of the Torah?
It's something we always do at the end of bar mitzvahs, but it's become a little bit more complicated with. Oh, there we go. All right, good. I'll do a couple here. Perfect, yay!
Hugging.
Dude.
Elbow.
What is
Can
your-
I have your elbow?
Oh, just, okay.
Elbow. Elbow. Thank you. Mazel Tov.